Hello all, how are you? Sorry I not not making that much updates, but time has been a bit short. So let's dive in, right? And what did I got, or what did I arrived at my home? I just received two books only. Midnight Gods by Greg Giffun and John R. Little by Darknet. These two were published by Journal Stone. They were available for uh, 5 €, so I purchased them. 2 horror novels, so it's always good. Um, Now, what I've been reading, I read in these last 15 days. So we are now on the 30th of March, so 13 days. I read 3 books. Well, I finished 3 books. So let's dive in. The first one was Sigvald by Darius Inks. This book here is a tale in the Warhammer or fantasy. This deals with Sigvald, which is a champion of Slanesh, and this is his tale. Basically, with this book is told into in 40 chapters, and each intermixed chapter is told in one of the two storylines. So there are two storylines. The first one tells basically the tale of Sigvald, about a man who is in this palace, a baron from the Imperium. Sorry, not Imperium, because Imperium is 40k, in the Empire, and basically he's trying to understand better chaos and use it to enhance the Empire, because he thinks that the Empire has been corrupted and so on, so he wants to use chaos for good, which doesn't exist, as you know. In terms of the second storyline, is basically a tale of Norska warriors, which have been, they are called the Fallen because they are being punished by something, and they don't know what. So the story is about finding out what this is and how to deal with it. What can I tell about this tale? Well, I gave it a 78 out of 100 because there are, first of all, I think the Norska tale is not that interesting and it's a bit long. And the tale about Sigvald and the Baron, I believe that the stuff about the Baron went there for a purpose. He meets Sigvald's wife and everything changes. And although I really enjoy the descriptions of chaos wastes, the chaos place that Darius tries to provide, I really enjoyed that. But I did think the story really didn't flow as I hoped. As far as I can go, I believe there are better chaos stuff out there. Palace of the Plague Lord or Blood for the Blood God. They are very good. This one, it's not mandatory to read in the achieving stuff, although we see Sigvald in the end going to the Empire, and this culminates probably with the end of times, because as you know, the end of times is a story told in 5 books, 7 if you count Gotrek and 8 if you count Malus, but 8 books where it depicts the end of the old world, where chaos, Archon and chaos, all its chaos minions come to the Empire and destroy the world with all the chaos stuff. It's a grand battle, and this gave birth to not gave birth directly, but then the Warhammer stopped and started Sigmar, the Sigmar world, not Warhammer Sigmar or something like that. Yeah, but it's okay book if you enjoy chaos, good. If you enjoy stories about characters, good. Now, the most important part is to understand that although the book is written about Sigvald, it's not told in his perspective, and to be honest, I didn't enjoy, because in the beginning he's just a warrior, or not a warrior, but a prince within that universe. And then there is a transformation about being the chosen for the Slanesh, like Valky is for blood for the corn and so on. So there is like a bit a breach, but unfortunately I didn't enjoy as much as I hoped. Overall, it's a good book. You can read it. It's fast paced, so yeah, it's pretty easy. Second book I read is The Goblin's Revenge by Mike Brooks. This is the first novella in the four novellas that exist. They were published since 2021 until now. They are being published one for a year, usually at Christmas. There are some connections, I don't know, with it. And it's a fast paced, I read it in one day. It's a good grotto, good gobos slash art story about this. In this case, it's they are boarding a vessel, but then the gobos, this gobo in particular, starts to think, well, why should I be a slave, or why should I be in the mercy of the orcs? And so I want to be free. Not that I didn't enjoy the novel. I think there's a bit politics here because Mike Brooks is not, well, he is a bit on the left communist side in this personal stuff, anarchist side, not communist, but and there are stuff here that hints to that. And when I feel that, I it's not that it's not a good story, but that's why I don't want to know about personal lives of the authors, because I don't care about their personal views. If it's a good, like, communist or fascist or whatever story, I enjoy it. But when I know that this is the author's vision, ideas for the world, and he just put it in the book, I don't enjoy it as much. I don't know why, it's a bit strange, but I didn't enjoy it. So, and overall, I really enjoyed the novel. I think that's a funny see in the orcs perspective. Although you have other books telling stuff about orcs, and each one has a different view. This one, it's comic relief. I'm going to read probably next The Gombo's Device, which is a second novel by Danny Flowers, which is interesting because each novella is told by a different writer. So there's 4 different perspectives on the orcs, although they probably tried to make it funny. But if you want to read something that is not as funny, yeah, there are other books for that. This one I gave it an 80 out of 100 because I enjoyed. It's a fast-paced gobo stuff. My only concern here, well, my only problem besides the one I've told, is that sometimes the way he writes the goblins' perspective, not perspective, but their talks, their conversations is a bit confusing for a non-speaker, person, a non-speaking native in this case. So yeah, the third book that that I've read. Let me just put something here. Yeah, the third book that I've read was, and the last one was Storm of Iron. This is by Graham McNeil. This was one of the first Warhammer stuff that came out in 2002. So Black Library was created, I believe, in 1999. Before it was published in other ways like Box 3 or something like that. And this was not the first, but one of the, 10 or 20 books published in Black Library. I believe he only wrote before The Nightbringer. I don't believe Warriors of Ultramar was before this or not, to be honest. But this follows the story. This is a story about Unsu, which is an Iron Warrior, a Chaos Iron Warrior. He's a captain here on this tale, and he is the main antagonist of the books that he published as well, Uriel Ventris novels that start with Nightbringer. That's why I was saying There are like 7 novels, I believe, 6, 2 trilogies, and then he published recently Sword of Calth, I believe. So, and Usu is present in his tales. Okay, Usu is not original. You can say that Iron Warrior. He was not present in the Horus Heresy. He was elevated to that position afterwards, and he is. I believe there's. I've read about this, but not only in this tale, but he has like he's called half breed because his gland is not totally Iron Warrior. I believe it's Imperial Fist, but you shouldn't quote on that. But yeah, so basically we are dealing with an invasion of a planet. Iron Warriors are the experts in siege, like Imperial Fist making. Usually, I believe Iron Warriors is the destroying, but they are also good in building. And here is the tale about this invasion of this planet. There is a fortress, and you don't understand why they are invading at the beginning, because it makes no sense. There is nothing there, just a fortress. This whole planet has a fortress. This fortress has like 20,000 or something like that soldiers. They are legion, titans. So we don't really understand why they are invading. Really, a planet without anything. We do learn afterwards the reason why. I may say in the end. I don't know. The story itself, it's about Onsu again. Almost all half the book is about Onsu. There are some parts there. Sometimes he changed the direction and tells something about the Imperial, which is interesting. In the beginning, it's all the Imperial, which, to be honest, was good to see both perspectives on this siege and how they deal with it. There are some cool Titan battles, and this is a tale that I believe it was enhanced with the publishing of this special edition, which is called Storm of Iron as well. This one, because it has a couple of stuff extra that the book doesn't have. Basically, there are 3 parts in this book. Introduction, okay, but that's cool. Then there is a half breed, which is like a very short synopsis about Hansu meeting Perturbaro, I don't know, his demon prince, and a Primarch, demon Primarch, and then War Breed, which is the final part of the book. So the book is in the middle of these 2 stories, which are basically one. It's like a 2-part short story, and this deals with the evaluation, because as we understand here, Unsu never met the Primarch, and something happens, and he is now meeting the Primarch, and you don't know why. Okay, in the book we understand that is the story of Unsu as he he turns into from a captain in the warband. Basic warriors are divided in warbands, and each warband has a warsmith, and each warsmith has a lot of captains. They don't pray to any particular god, they pray to every god, from what I understand. They are chaos and undivided, and so this is the tale about Perturbado also as he rise from the captain to warsmith, which pretty good, because I believe in other novels he is told as the warsmith. So what can I take from this book? First of all, I really enjoyed the siege operations, how they build stuff, how chaos works in this environment, and there is also a bit more. So this is how you do stuff, political wise, personal political wise, and put in this tale and people will enjoy it. Okay, so Honsu is called an half breed, okay, because he is a mix race of Imperial Fist and Iron Warriors. So a lot of them, the other captains and even Warsmith, treat him badly. So he has to prove himself as a worthy warrior capability, as normal as non-half breed, and he rises to that position because he is professional, because he is a good soldier, a good chaos soldier, a soldier that follows the chaos and not his personal gains and so on. So, and you can see this as a person of color, which has to, well, in 2002, had to fight a bit more, go a bit further to prove themselves. Okay, so you can see that story. You can put that analogy here. Maybe the author didn't do anything about this, but you can imagine, and that's how I like political stuff. That you can political opinion stuff. It's you think about stuff and say, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe the author didn't add that in mind, and that's our value of reading a book and trying to think about what the author is trying to say here. Maybe he's just telling a tale and there is no correlation, but maybe he's not. I don't care about his personal beliefs, Graham McNeill. I don't care about his personal views, but this is how you do political stuff without ruining the story, like you are being preached upon, like in Mike Brooks' book. Here there is nothing like that, and that enhances the story. And in the end, I really think that this is a good depiction of a chaos stuff. Not you get the feeling about chaos, how they work chaos to themselves to enhance their capabilities. You try to understand a bit more about why and how they turn against the emperor, and the story itself went somewhere because there was stuff there in that fortress and they took it. Sometimes the books that you read in this shared world stuff is like books that don't happen anything. What I mean by this is like the status quo is always maintained in the end. Yeah, a million people died, but in the end the status quo was maintained. There's no development. For example, Legion by Dan Abbott, you saw something that influenced the whole world, like instead of one Primarch having two, Homer and Alfarius. And sometimes you read books that don't have anything. Okay, people die, but nothing really major happens. The balance stayed the same. There were no character death, and so it's a status quo is maintained. And here there's something I believe that really enhanced the story. So this tale was told in 2002. There was no Cadian and no stuff that the 13th Crusade didn't happen until this. It didn't happen. But with these new tales here on this book, Graham was able to put this book as a prequel to the 13th Black Crusade. Okay, and that's interesting. You will not miss anything if you don't read this part, I believe, because this is again an interaction between Onso and Portorado, but it enhances the story, and that's always good. Oh, cool. So yeah, that's it. The three books. I gave it this one 89 out of 100. I enjoyed the tale. Everything was. I probably would enjoy it more if I probably have read Nightbringer or something like that. It's not mandatory, although there's hints that this is not his first walk in the park. But yeah, for me, this is the first book I read from this character, so I really enjoyed it. The next books I'm going to read, well, I'm reading Necropolis. I'm already 70 pages in. It's another siege. I started this before Storm of Iron, but then I wanted to read something different, and I tried Storm of Iron, and it was a siege like this one. So I stopped this one, and now I'm going to read every one book, another book, Tunkel's Doom from fantasy, or Firecast. Then I'm going to circle back to Necropolis, which is a Dan Abbott book, and I'm already loving the book. I don't know why I stopped. Maybe that's a me problem. Fortunately, it's very rare I can read one book start to finish that takes me 4 or 5 days without anything else. For example, I started Storm of Iron. In the middle, I read this one, then I finished this one. And unfortunately, that's how I work. Yeah, so that's it from me. I'm going to read Necropolis probably this weekend. I'm going to finish at least one more book. This is Thursday, so let's hope. And then I have to read in the end, in the rest of the month, I have to read The Infinite and the Divine, which I'm eagerly to read this. I'm also going to read 2 more books, I hope. No Good Man, which is an anthology, and Witch Hunter. This one I didn't stop reading, but then I don't know. I start watching my books, and I wanted to read something different. So not Warhammer 40k directly, but crime in this case. So this is a crime Warhammer 40k, but within the crime book collection. Crime. I believe you can see that. There are like 10 books or something like that. So yeah, these 3 books. So let's see if I can do it. To be honest, I'm in a slow reading mood. That's why in April I'm going to go for more fast-paced stuff. I don't know why, but sometimes you get these feelings of it's like my mind. I'm going to switch glasses, and because I'm getting old now, I have difficulty to see not far but near. I have to take the glasses to read a book, and I have to put it like that, and it's awful. So I'm going to get the new glasses, which is a lot of money, but yeah. Let's see. So, what have you been reading? Have you been reading these books? I know that at least one person said that he's going to read the same book, so what are your opinions? Did you read something of this? Yeah. Please do tell me in the comments. Thank you.